There is furthermore the need for man to find a purpose in life, which he cannot easily find within life itself, but rather finds in an existence outside life. Man has been described as a worshipping animal. He will worship an element of some type. If he doesn't worship God, the absolute, then he'll make something relative into an absolute. He'll worship a man or a woman, or he'll worship a concept such as state or race or power, or he'll worship his own instincts or their projection, money or pleasure, or himself. So he'll make something which is not absolute into an absolute. This teaches us the need which man has to worship. There is a feeling which encompasses at times nearly all human beings, that they are not just leading their lives, but that they are being led by a power from above. The concept of personal providence leading us in a certain direction in life comes to a person's awareness at times when he ponders more deeply about what is happening to him. The book of Psalms, Tehillim, is in a way the book above all others within human history which expresses man's emotional attachment to God. And therefore, it strikes a chord in every human breast in times of fortune and misfortune, teaching us that he who trusts in God will feel himself surrounded by loving kindness. Especially in times of great emotional development within man, he feels that the emotion is just not within him, it is a power that comes from above. We are all accustomed to the phrase, falling in love. What does that experience indicate? That love, when it comes to a man or a woman, isn't something which is initiated by them, but it's as though there's a power from outside which leads them together. The Jewish concept would rather look at it not as falling into love, but as rising into love. For the experience of love can teach us that there is a power from above that leads us. But it's not only the love between man and woman. There are many great experiences in life, and this is especially known to people who develop their inner selves, be it in scientific discovery or in art, that they feel as though there is a power from above that is guiding them and that is helping them to produce the masterpiece or to come nearer to the solution of the problem. This brings us to the concept of the awareness of God that descends upon human beings who open up their hearts. Yirat Hashem, described in contemporary terms as the numinous quality by Rudolf Otto in his book, The Idea of the Holy, that in the experiences of life, man will come across sublime situations wherein life is not just made up of a series of materialistic events, but wherein there is a power from outside that enters into his life. Especially does one find this through investigations of those experiences of man which demonstrate the non-material powers, some of them transcending time and space, of which human beings are capable. Henry Bergson already described the element of the eternal dimension with which the mind of man is related, whether it be in dream experiences, in telepathy, in which, as it were, there is a leakage from the divine, eternal, non-spatial dimension into the world of space and time. Recent discovery in the field of parapsychology, especially the research of Dr. Ryan, and more recently of Moody and others, have demonstrated that there exists as a real experience of man a meeting not just with a dimension which spans space and time, that a person can establish contact with another human being in a different part of the globe, not via natural means, through telepathy. There is power of mind over matter through hypnotism, and that a person can have experiences, be it in dreams or in other premonitions of that which will happen in the future, and can see what is going on in other parts of the globe. But also that those who have gone through what is termed the clinical death and have been brought to life again have met with a being that cannot be described in words, but has been to them more real than any other experience which they have had on this earth. A being that is filled with love and light, and that approaches the individual soul and personality with warmth. But more than this, many human beings have been confronted with supernatural experiences. Throughout human history, until the present day, he who will not be blinded by a narrow empiricism will recognize elements of truth in man's experience of the miraculous. The works of Alexis Carrel and Ouspensky, and so many others, one of the titles In Search of the Miraculous, have demonstrated that man's existence is not just a natural one, but that there is an element of supernature, of the spirit interfering and entering into the laws of nature as they relate to the human individual. The Hebrew word for miracle, nes, is connected with the root to lift up, because whilst it is true that the normal experience of man follows laws of cause and effect, and everything goes according to minhag, a custom, and is repetitious, if a person elevates himself more highly, he will frequently come into confrontation with that which lies above nature, with the miraculous, and thereby gain an experience of God.